Then you go to the UN, which has C24, which is the Decolonization Committee. It's a committee established for decolonization of peoples who are seeking self-determination. And that's when you go, when your sovereignty is deemed by your courts to be worthless. The other thing about courts, of course, is they may not necessarily work in the national interest for one reason or another. And we have to bear in mind that the legal establishment in Scotland protected their own status and privileges within the treaty. Now, there must have been a reason for that. I mentioned this Telford College in Edinburgh many moons ago had a wonderful library on the Treaty of Union. And they had many, many books. And I think I read them all. And nobody was in any doubt up until about 2000, when the devolved parliament had been set up, that a majority of Scotland's MPs could withdraw Scotland from the treaty. And even John Major and Norman Tebbit and all the rest of it had said this in the Houses of Parliament. If the SNP came to this House with a majority of National Party MPs, that was it. The problem has been we've had this development in the last couple of decades of career politicians, and they are building their careers. But a National Party politician seeking independence has to be prepared to go the whole hog. A National Party politician elected is elected for independence. So they have to look at all the mechanisms to do that, and to probably then hold a referendum in Scotland under a different franchise, under a secondary criteria franchise that the UN would sanction. And I think this would have to be done through the UN. The other important thing with the referendum, under the UN rules on referendum for self-determination, is there should be no external interference. And we have constant interference from other parliamentarians from other countries, from the media from other countries, and even the No campaign funded from other countries. So all of that should be removed from the independence referendum. But the fundamental thing for me is the franchise should be significantly changed so as not to impinge on the right to the self-determination of the Scots people. And that's what's fundamentally important here. People from other countries have got the right to self-determination in their own countries and their own peoples. Self-determination is of a people rather than a place. People don't understand this.
But are you more then blood and soil than civic nationalism?
Well, people say that. People say that, but ethnicity is a fact. You know, you can ignore it if you want, but self-determination is about a people as well as a place. The criteria for self-determination is quite clear. It's been included in various cases, including Kosovo, where the ethnicity is very important, the language is important, the culture is important, the heritage is important, the common suffering is important. And remember that colonialism is a punishment, a scourge on a people, and it leaves them underdeveloped and their nation. And that is why Scotland today is underdeveloped. It's not running its own affairs.